Good evening, one and all, and welcome to our production of Inevitable, a doomed Arthurian Western. I am your storyteller, your game master, your prophet, Zachary Vaudo, and we are picking up on a continuing story in the doomed kingdom of myth with these 4 members of a cadre, soon-to-be cadre, attempting to forestall the inevitable. We'll go around and introduce you to the team before we get started, beginning with Mare.
Hello, my name is Mare, and I play Sir Joanna the Shatterheart.
To Abby.
Yet, I'm Abby. I am none other than our mystic, Sparrowhawk Poe, the ill-fated.
To PJ.
Hello everyone, my name is PJ. I'll be playing Tristan the Pale. My pronouns are he, him, and Tristan is a guardsman of the Loam, the goddess of death and graveyards.
And to Jerry.
What up, everyone? I'm Jerry. I'm playing High Plains Roamer, Woebringer Jarth. That's with a soft G.
If you all are ready, players, let us begin the inevitable. Where last we left our heroes, a noble knight-errant and a burgeoning mystic were tasked with a treaty. Meeting a guardsman of the deceased along the way, they ventured into the Whispering Woods, and while the witch it housed would not hear their plea, the wizened branch master agreed in exchange for a favor carried out by the trio post-haste. With a scorned lichen slain and an allyship in hand, the new group returned to the City of Myth, where our story opens tonight. In the City of Myth, the Acropolis of Knight's Home looms over the large town. Centered in the middle of town is a fountain rushing cool water throughout the city. In the middle of a very desirable district right under the steps of Knightholm. Folks will gather at this drinking hole. They're set near the fountain, the Sword and Staff, where many legends of myth begin. Pulling from there, we see the foundry, where the smithers ring clear and loud, fashioning arms and armor for the knights of the king's army. The artisans compete for the affection of the steelweaver, who alone knows the secrets of the mythic steel that many of these knights wield. We pan into the blue, a district of narrow streets where merchants gather between faded blue awnings, smells of incense and foreign teas, a constant peaceful bustle at all hours of the day. We pull out even more to a small schoolhouse in a row in a side street in Myth, where a man going by the name of June is completing his teachings for the children of Myth today. Will the man known as June please describe himself?
Yeah. He's about 41 years old. Chisel-jawed, olive skin complexion, 3-piece suit, tweed, even with a little chain hanging out, right? And he is he stands there kind of next to the chalkboard, turns towards it, strokes his kind of got like a thin goatee kind of going here, and there's a look of disappointment in exam score average this semester for the kiddos here in prophecies, and you would think that, and he's trying not to make it like this is a reflection of his teaching ability by any means. It's clearly the student's fault. And
these are prophecies after all.
These are prophecies after all. Like, it's all spelled out there, kiddos. What are we doing? What? And the school day is coming to an end, and he says, I want you all, for your assignment tonight is I want you all to go home and rethink your lives.
There's some like timid glances between the children. This is not usual for them, but again, schooling is not usual for them. They count themselves fortunate enough to be able to get an education of this caliber in this town since you came in. So your words don't have no weight behind them. They understand that when you say this, you do in fact mean it.
Shoot! Get out of here!
Kids all get up, gather their papers and their pencils, and they file out, forking around a man standing in the doorway. He's middle-aged, long dark hair and a sculpted beard, dressed in a breastplate and a crimson cloak. Despite the regal appearance, he has very kind and gentle eyes. You know this man, because everybody in the kingdom knows this man. This is the Knight Chancellor, Sir Dist the Sable. And he has graced your school's doorstep today.
June is patting chalk erasers, so there's just getting a bunch of white powder everywhere. He kind of looks up. Oh.
I hope I'm not intruding. I was waiting for the end of the classes.
You kind of are. I was gonna go to the tavern after this and get a pint, but alone. So can this wait till never?
I'm afraid not, and it seems that I had an entire easing into it, but I'm getting the sense that you already know why I'm here.
You errants are walk with so much purpose. Yeah, that's kind of the whole deal, isn't it?
You've done wonders for the children of myth, June. You have given them a potential future when the future is not so certain. But it's other skills of yours that we need to help make that future a little bit more certain.
Takes out a piece of chalk and draws 2 circles on the chalkboard. Okay. This circle represents things I want to do with my day-to-day. And over here in this circle is what I had a metaphor here ready and I lost it. So
Oh, here, let me help you. And he walks over to you and just daintily plucks the chalk from your hands, and he taps the first circle. This circle right here must be the things that you were wanting to do with your day. And this circle right here must be the things from your previous life that you wanted to leave behind.
Yes, exactly. Yes. I'm corralling all of that over here. Yes. Okay.
And then this circle here, he draws a very large circle around them both with a massive X to it, is what happens when doom comes to myth. It all goes away.
I teach prophecies. I don't partake in them, okay?
We know who you are. Jarth. We've known since you came
Don't,
in.
no. Mm-mm. Put that name back in your royal little tulips, okay? All right. That's not a name they call me anymore, nor do I respond to.
It may not be a name that we call you anymore, but it is a legacy that we need. I wouldn't come to you if we didn't think that you specifically could be needed for this. You see, we're facing an issue with an old acquaintance of yours. An old acquaintance of
I
the
don't
king.
have acquaintances that are alive, okay, sir. All right. I deal with the kingdom's future.
Unfortunately, Sir Alimer the Thronebreaker is very much alive. And you know the Thronebreaker. You knew Sir Alimer as Sir Alimer the Upright, back when she was a knight of the court, before she broke from the court, as she was instructed to enact taxes on her homeland and refused. You've not seen her since.
For good reason.
But here, Sir Dist tells you that she is, in fact, alive and seems to be a threat. Now, June, I will respect your wish in this regard, even though I need the man you were before. We know your connection to Sir Alimer. We know the kinship that you had before she left, and this is exactly why we need you. It's not just for your knowledge of the wastelands, your ability to track. It's because she can't be taken down. She can't be killed. Not in the state she's in now. If she were killed, she'd be martyred immediately, and it would wound the throne to no end.
I am not the man that was at Violet Fields, okay? All right. I'm sure many of us aren't anymore, but I can exceptionally say that I am very far removed from the man I was at Violet Fields. So we've all changed, all right? Alimer can... What's in it for me?
Do you mean apart from the forestalling of impending doom and the destruction of the very kingdom which you have built your new life to leave your old one behind?
I don't like it when you word it like that. That's
I spend too much time in the court with the mystics. What can I say?
yeah, clearly. Okay.
Do you understand? I'm not coming to you for your ability to kill, though it may be necessary. I am coming for both who you were and who you are now.
Do you need a gun or not?
We always need a gun, but moreover...
Great. Fine.
Moreover, we need a voice of reason. One that she will listen to.
Let me arrange a substitute and tell me where to go.
Meet us in the Acropolis in the morning.
Sure.
Sir Dist bows, turns his crimson cloak swaying, and he exits your school. You wanted to leave that life behind so many years ago, 5 years ago. What happened on the Violet Fields that you wanted to leave behind?
So, we're still in the classroom, but the man called June kind of steps away out of the classroom down the corridor towards his office, opens the door, heads to a big ochre desk, and he heads towards that drawer that he keeps locked, turns the key, pulls it open, and a revolver called the Last Tale sits in that drawer. He stares at it. It's and he remembers the memory of the last time he wielded it. You see, when the Cannibal Saint and King Malavin were at each other's throats out there on the fields, a gang known as the Green Gun Gang was decided to say, now's a great time to do the job that will get us out of this game. And it got him out of the game, many of them for good, and 6 feet under. And a lot of them went out shooting.
But not you?
No.
The Last Tale looks up at you from the box that you've placed it in, where you've housed it, stored it away, like the name that you have stored away. It calls to you a bit, this familiar life. It's so easy to fall back in to old habits. Do you pick up the last word willingly or with caution?
He picks it up with caution because he's known that the gun's name is the Last Tale because there's always a non-zero chance that the slinger who wields it, that'll be the last time they'll wield it, whether it be living or dead, right? And so far, he's only wielded it once. It was at the Battle of the Violet Fields. And that was also the last time he saw the Green Gun Gang still standing, right? So he knows that if he picks it up again, this tale will either end one way or another with him in the ground or a whole lot of other people who he cared about in the ground.
The words of Sir Dist ring in your ear, in your mind, that he didn't just come to you for a gun, but for a voice. The Thronebreaker, if killed, could very well be martyred, and the legend could do just as much damage as the woman could. But you know what kind of damage she can do on her own. And so, as the night closes, you sit with the last word, and you wonder what it is that you are going to give the Thronebreaker, what it is that you're going to have to give her when you see her. Is it a word, or is it a bullet? Only time will tell. Morning comes, and the man called June finds himself entering the Acropolis of Knightsholm, home to the royal family and guard and mystics of myth. He enters in, moving past the Hall of Rote, where knights and squires train alike, past the barracks, up to the north wing, to the throne room of bronze and marble, where a small group have gathered. 3 people stand before the throne. And as you have not met them before, I will have them introduce and describe themselves to you and for the audience once again. Sir Joanna, could you please describe yourself?
Before you stands a formidable woman, someone who has years of training and years of experience, not just in the way that she stands and carries herself with broad shoulders, wearing plate mail and the same crimson of the knights errant, but also through the lines and weathering on her face, the wisps of gray that have started to go through her dark hair, the calluses on her hands, and the blade that she wields at her side. But in that, there's also still a softness in her eyes and in her gaze. While her body and her visage may have been hardened over the years, she still stands trying to bring in and understand the world around her. She's weathered, maybe a little rustic about her appearance, but she stands confidently, particularly with the 2 that stand near her as well.
A face that would have been seen around the kingdom as one of the 12 knight-errants of the Kingdom of Myth. Sir Joanna, you were summoned by Sir Levere, the head of the knight-errants, as you were tasked with your mission before. You were once again being called to duty. This is basic duty for you as a knight-errant of the court. When you are summoned, you come. When there is a mission, you fulfill. Next to Sir Joanna is a much more peculiar woman. Sparrowhawk Poe, would you please describe yourself?
The grand figure standing before the throne is entirely expected. It's Sparrowhawk Poe, that is the exception. She dresses in robes that look cleaned in river water, dusty still, feathers and unmentionable stains around the collar. Plain whites and browns, but most peculiar is her anatomy. Her 2 hands clasped are an eagle's talons, scaled and sharp, ever glinting. Her matted brown hair surrounds a face mixed of feather and beak and lip and tooth in the most gruesome of manners. But it's her eyes that are focused entirely on the throne, too intelligent to be mere bird, and far too primal to be just human. Golden, unblinking, but pitiful somehow with the way she's scrunched over, looking nervously between the knight and the far cleaner man next to her.
A face that you would have never seen around the kingdom, but the description matches something that you've heard the students whispering about, rumors of a bird witch living in the Falcon Tower of the kingdom. Passed off as childhood folly, yet here stands a woman that fits the bill. Sparrowhawk Poe, you were summoned by Keshar the Stargazer, chief of the mystics. Quite surprising to you. It seems that your willingness to jump to task and the fact that you have worked with Sir Joanna before has brought you favor in the eyes of the other mystics. And while many of them wish to stay in the kingdom, continue to study, your willingness to venture out into the world has been noted. As to the man standing next to her, Tristan, would you please describe yourself?
Have you ever smelled grave dirt on a rainy day? That smell of earth, that's powerful, but it's cold all the same. No warmth there, despite the bodies. There seems to be some of that around Tristan. Painfully thin and devilishly pale, despite wearing a heavy black duster, and of course, his coffin top black, wide brim hat. The only bit of color to him, besides his sanguine-like red lips, are his matching red brocade vest and cravat. A man of style, a man of taste, but a man that looks like a walking skeleton. On his hip, you see a black, holstered, very long-barreled gun, possibly a shotgun, and a book. Simple little book with a symbol on it. A spade crossing a mound of dirt. The loam. Jet black eyes peer from under a wide-brimmed black hat with a perfectly maintained, thin black mustache and a dagger-like beard. And just with a little wink and a smile, he lets you know that he's already seen the day you die. He just doesn't know if he gets to throw the dirt on your casket when that day comes.
A face that you have never seen in this kingdom. Perhaps it is your fortune that you have never seen him before today. Tristan Sullivan the Sunblind, a friend of yours and another mystic and prophet of the kingdom, requested your presence upon hearing that you had come into town and had assisted Sir Joanna and Sparrowhawk Poe. Well, who better to join them once again in this request from the throne? The man called steps up to join the trio standing before the throne, and surrounding the throne are the four individuals that brought you here. Knight Chancellor Sir Dist the Sable standing to the king's left, no chair, a smile to you as you enter into the room. Sullivan the Sunblind, standing to one side of his, eyes covered by the blindfold, masking the burned-out eyes of his previous miracle, listening to the footsteps echoing through the throne room as you approach. Kajar the Stargazer, cloaked and sitting, elderly, to the right side of the throne. Sir Levere the Hammermite, first errant, chief of the errant order, standing behind her, fur cloak hanging over his shoulders, stern look furrowing his brow, sharp white beard marking his age. Queen Isolde, the mother of the king, sitting before you. She is beautiful. She rarely speaks since her husband's death 5 years ago. She wants her son to do right by the position that he has been pushed into, in spite of the prophecy. And sitting in the throne is a skinny and pale child with dark hair. He looks quite like his mother, much more than he did his full-bearded and blonde-haired father, King Malavan, which you all would remember. He looks weak, not just from being a child, but sickly. This is King Rebane, known here as King Rebane the Last. With a heavy breath, King Rebane sits up, says, "Subjects of myth, Thank you for attending court today. You have each come recommended by esteemed members of the council and the court for this mission. Please state your names for the court. And he gestures first to the knight errant.
Sir Joanna the Shatterheart, and she would bring her arm across her chest and give a full courtier's bow to her king.
He gestures to the mystic.
Sparrowhawk Poe, mystic of the court, a wizard of the Falcon Tower, and it's a very shaky bow as her cloak sort of billows out, gets caught on her claws. It's tallow.
You can see he smiles at your appearance. He's never seen somebody like you before. As he looks over with a bit of a faltering smile to the godsman.
With that, I tip my hat and I say, Tristan the Pale, I am, of course, the Ward of Death, but I'm also just wondering, can we get some sunglasses for sunblind? I think it might be a bit bright for my friend here.
You see Sullivan chuckle behind the throne, but quickly steadies himself as Sir Levere scowls at you for mouthing off in the court. Sullivan knows exactly the man that he brought here. And with that, King Rebane turns to the man called June.
June is late. Decidedly, like,
Oh, yes.
he like, and he steps into court. He's got like a sandblasted duster on, and he now has his handy brown traveling hat. And he walks in and he's like, "Oh, they started. Is there food nearby?" No.
There's not.
Okay. He kind of just like does a little like prodding around before the king looks at him. Ah. And he looks up at Sir Tristan, the knight that called him here. Ah. Business. Our most genuine apologies. I'm the one they call Woebringer Jarth.
And you can see Sir Disc smile as you have made your choice both by showing up and by reclaiming the name of Old. Sparrowhawk, you probably have not heard this name before. Sir Joanna, you have heard this name before as a member of the Green Gun Band, a gang of roamers from years past, thought to have perished in the Battle of the Violet Fields. Tristan, you've possibly heard about them in your travels, but you would have also certainly heard of them as a prior soldier of myth. The king, the boy king, smiles, says, "Really, thank you all for coming. The kingdom very much needs the help of experienced and willing participants, and everybody speaks so highly of all of you." Isolde clears her throat a bit, and Rebane sits up straight, much like a boy responding to his mother's silent cue. We have received news from Crescent out east. West. It's west. We have received news from the Duke of Crescent out west. And he turns to Queen Isolde, and she puts his hand on his shoulder and says, Sir Alimer. Sir Alimer, now known as the Thronebreaker, has rallied troops around the town of Crescent and Heart's Domain, and recently put a tax collector to the sword out there. The Duke has requested assistance from the Crown to quell a potential uprising, as this Thronebreaker has been decreed as a potential downfall to the kingdom. It is in our best interest to address this, but he turns to his mother again, who gestures to Sir Dist, who clears his throat. As I told Woebringer Jarth, it is highly recommended that you capture her, or imprison her, or talk her down. Killing her is, well, and Sullivan the Sunblind speaks up, his voice ringing through the halls. Unwise. Killing her is unwise. She will become a martyr to her people, should she be laid to the sword or pistol. And the will of her followers is just as damning as she can be. This is why we have requested all of you, not simply for your martial prowess, but for your minds. And the king nods. Thank you, Sullivan, Sir Dist. With that, we ask the four of you to please travel to Crescent to meet with Duke Halbert. He will inform you of the situation, and perhaps you can quell the unrest in the area. If the Thronebreaker is in the vicinity, perhaps you can deal with this before things get more out of hand.
Is that a bowl over there? Is there like Jarth kind of like looks is there like a table nearby with like some sort of dish or anything?
There is a table very far.
He like have walks to walk all the way over there, spits some tobacco.
Once again, you see Sir Dist chuckle, and Sir Levere furrows his brow. Woebringer Jarth, you have been requested due to your familiarity with the Barren Lands. We feel that you would be the best guide to wherever we may need this cadre to go, as well as your previous connection with Sir Alimer. Sir Joanna, as a fellow knight-errant, we believe that you can also perhaps relate to her past. Sparrowhawk Poe and Tristan, with your previous work with Sir Joanna, we feel that the employ of a mystic and a godsman would be very suitable for covering all of our bases.
Of course, a wise decision. These two were most helpful in our most recent trip away.
Yes, we heard all about your encounter with the branch piercer. It's very, very fantastic. And Isolde again like taps his knee, and he straightens up again, reining it in a bit, going from boy to king. We ask that you set out at once. Those of you without horses will be given. Supplies will be given, and Duke Halbert will receive you in Crescent upon your arrival. The kingdom thanks you.
At once, Your Grace. And Sparrowhawk again does that very exaggerated bow, deliberately keeping her eyes away from the boy king's mother. There's been, let's say, some roughness with that. She wants to be out of the room as quickly as possible. So bow, and with the flap of a wing, she's gone.
You see Tristan reach into a pocket and pull out a deck of cards and kind of packs it almost like a pack of cigarettes before a few finally slip out. I would have means to talk with somebody that might know a bit more about this situation than both of us combined. Do you know where I can find a freshly buried gravesite? I'm sure there's got to be an unfortunate abundance this time of year.
Well, if... And you could see the others move to speak first, but the king speaks up first. Well, if when you get to Crescent, I'm sure that the Duke could actually bring you to the grave of the tax collector that was killed. He'd probably be the most recent.
Well, my oh my, a tax collector and a dead dandy. That is quite the daisy. I do appreciate that very much, young king.
And with that, you hear a resounding clang thud as Sir Levere lifts his sword and strikes it to the floor and says, "Subjects of the court, you have your mission. Dismissed."
With a clang of her gauntlet against her breastplate, she does the same and gives him a knowing look, a slight bit of a "don't worry, I'm going to make sure this goes okay," having experienced just this here in the court. And a look to the queen, once more to the king before exiting. And as she does so, giving at least, Sparrowhawk disappeared.
You can catch up with her.
Oh yeah, but catching up with her, or catching up with them as she goes to and offers a bit of a hand on the shoulder, like a "good job, you did that, good job."
It's been years since I've seen the queen, since, well, thank you. You were regal, majestic, really, all of you. And her gaze falls upon Garth. Yes, all of us. We should head for the road, yes?
Yes, majestic indeed. Looking very much between Tristan and Jarth, with not quite a steely look, but one that is expressing a little bit of how that was not the most impressive showing in front of her king, as she could have imagined. And she's like, "Yes, at once," they said, "and at once it will be. Have either of you ridden on a mythic steed before?"
Look, if I got spurs on my boots, I can ride anything with four legs. All right, just get on with it. And I'm so hungry. Where? There's got to be like a royal kitchen around.
We will find rations.
Starts walking.
We will
away.
find rations for you. Knights do not travel unprepared.
You got sweet rolls down here?
Sparrowhawk raises a little clawed finger, digs around in her satchel, and produces bird snacks. So, unseasoned dried meat, shelled nuts. Here. I would not want you to be famished for our journey.
Are you handing me? What are you, a rooster? What are you?
A rooster? I'm Sparrowhawk Politan, the name. Where did they find you? An imbecile club?
Yes, as a matter of fact. Was that the answer you wanted, Mage?
Oh, well, myth preserve us. She'll just drop it in your hands and totter off to the stables.
You will issue more respect to a mystic of the court.
Yeah.
I don't mean you have to be
Mom
best.
said so much.
Yeah, like I don't. You don't have to show dire friendship. I feel like that may be so hard for someone of your background. But we can do a job that is set before us, can't we?
Oh, absolutely. I work with kids in my day job, so this is fine.
You do?
Let's not get into it. I got.
Her eyebrow raises very strongly, and she looks to Tristan on that one, going, "Can you believe this?"
Tristan just kind of like all shoulders, like, I mean, if he does a good job, I don't see what the problem here is.
You want to guide? I will guide you. Guiding will happen in due time.
Right.
Due time.
When we get to the
time.
mythic steeds and set out
Sure.
on our road.
Now, Jarth, is your pistol in a holster on your hip, or is it tucked away somewhere?
It's one of those cross-body holsters, so it's right in front of his heart.
So it's very visible.
Very visible.
Despite his demeanor and these peculiar things that he said, the three of you can see a mythic revolver in his holster. People don't come by mythic revolvers lightly. They come by them through impressive coin and earning them, or they come by them through battle. One way or another, this peculiar man has earned the gun that he carries.
I think that's a thing for Suryawana, is that in her mind and through her experience and through her loyalty and dedication, seeing someone with something like that, it is just not computing in her mind how someone in an area of the court with such an item with that could just have, in her mind, the audacity of just the lack of reverence in her mind, because this is her life, this is her existence. The mission that's before, she can understand it. So just her right now, she is recalculating on this vibe check entirely from top to bottom with this.
Of course.
Jarth reaches into his coat, pulls out his tin of chewing tobacco, unscrews it. You want some, my lady? Hands it to Suryawana.
I appreciate the offer. That is
great. It's great travel stimulus. So
I have sensitive teeth, and she turns on her heels and starts to walk towards the bar.
The group of you make it to the stables. Your horses, Dust, Reckoning, and Maester, are housed there. Jarth, you are assigned a mare. She's a smoky flaxen palomino. Name on the saddle says Abraxas. She will be assigned to you as your horse for the duration of this quest.
He kind of like does like the thing people do at used car dealerships, where they kind of like check the quality of the build.
Smacks lid of horse. This has got a lot of horsepower in this thing.
I like your pedigree.
She huffs, but also dips a little bit, like waiting for a cue to go.
You're gonna be my only friend here.
Mounting up, the four of you ride out down the royal steps, which is an extension of the King's Road that clings to the hill, guarded by 100 towering statues of famed knights. Names that ring in legend and history: the Cloud Tamer, the Steed Breaker, even the Hammermite. Sir Levere had a statue built for him after he was injured and thought dead at the Violet Fields. Fortunately for the kingdom, he has survived, though not in the state that he once was. These figures loom over you all, seeing you out through the mythic door and onto the King's Road. To get to Crescent, You're going to have to cross the Grey River once again, much like the three of you did just a few days past. Now, this time around, you know better than to go through the Whispering Woods. Instead, you can go around into Crescent proper. Heading up after about a day and a half of riding, which includes a bit more of like silent camping the first night. You arrive at the crossing. It's a towering bridge of set stone concrete collapsed into the river, where the barge, run by Luller and her herd of goats, waits to ferry the four of you and your horses across. The goats bleeding the entire way. Before you is the forest of the Whispering Woods, and around it, behind it, is the city of Crescent. You ride on for a ways. After this couple of days of travel, what conversations may be occurring between you all?
Jarth bleeps back at the goats as they pass. So it's just kind of like, bah, to you, too, bro. Bah.
It just stirs them up
Starhawk
even.
is taking this too seriously and just is staring in horror like this is her traveling companion. Oh my god, I'm supposed to save Myth with this man. Oh my, what are we gonna do?
Suryawana has absolutely tried to find some common ground. Just so stories of it, I feel like the Violet Fields is always a very touchy subject when it comes to it. So, as well as just both of them, they're passing with it. Speaking of Jarth in this, and I think that she's trying. You know that thing when you have a manager who's trying to be I'm not a bad manager. I'm a cool manager. Kind of deal, because she's kind of seeing herself not necessarily in charge, but as someone who has the alongside Sparrowhawk Poe, like this is a task for her. This is get in, get out, go handle the thing. She's trying to be cool and chill. Maybe some talks of, hey, so you been to any of the tournaments in recent months? No?
I grade papers.
But gotta do more than that. I mean, on a bright sunny day, going out watching a joust.
What, watch two burly men on horses ram the two long poles at each other? That doesn't sound super appealing to me.
And women.
But yeah, sure.
You could also I think that could be something, the children would enjoy a day out in the sun. Fresh air is good for them.
Sparrow like visibly gags.
Yeah,
Mama, that was
All right.
a juicy one. Jarth, you said your name was?
It's short for Jartholomew.
Bartholomew. Well, calling me a man impressed by your many layers. You're like an onion, son.
No, I get it from the kids I teach. It's they kind of imprint themselves on me, and I with all of their newfound lexicons and gung ho attitudes towards what have you. It is awfully muggy out.
I do get confused when some of the newer recruits come and they say just the strangest things. I ask them to speak in the common language so that we can understand them, and it seems to be a generational thing.
Well, just the other day, I was in a backroom game of poker with a couple of lovely gentlemen who decided to call my game, my game of poker, what was the word they used? I don't know, some long lost letter of the alphabet, one I don't speak no more, but Was it Gamma? No, it doesn't really matter. But the words they choose to say these days are certainly perplexing, to say the least.
Maybe you can catch us up on that, Jarth. As a teacher, teach us something someday.
Yes, Jarth, I am in a powerful need to get my lessons. Could you please teach me? I'll be very indebted to you, sir.
Perhaps we might ask someone who's trained in these sorts of things. Obscure languages. For instance, many young wizards have found themselves at the Skibidi Ridge. It's a place of great magic, so I hear. It is...
Wait, how do you know about the Skibidi Ridge?
It's been...
I thought that was in legend alone.
I've read it in books. No, it's in books, and I've heard now that some of them will go, but we must pay the Phenom tax, so I hear. It's... I haven't left the tower.
I hear it's a long saga that continues on and gets wilder and wilder with each installment of the saga. To in many cases, it's incredibly confusing and a song that repeats throughout. It's fascinating what I hear at the mess hall tables.
The tale weavers have built on this tale over time. It seemed to have lost the plot after it's passed from tale weaver to tale weaver.
Sparked some debate among the Owl Council, I'll say all of that. Oh, never bring that topic up with a wizard, any of you, especially you, and I just point a little finger at Jar. You'll have your eyeballs explode.
Hey, don't point. That's 3 fingers pointing back at you.
Oh, that's correct. When I used to do a little soldiering myself, apologies on the whistle, we used to do what they call knife hands. Like this, you point at them. That way there is absolutely zero doubt that the problem lies entirely with them. They have fucked up 5 times. And that's why we do knife hands.
Magic, this is. And she opens her notebook and just scribbles.
That is rather standard procedure, and that way when you know, as she is gesturing, but definitely aiming not to point like within it. When you know it happens. She kind of, you see a little bit of levity like on her within that moment of, right, soldiers among them. Okay, yeah, that is a connection point.
What's that, Sir Ayana? Is that the sound of a stake slowly being removed from your end?
I don't know. Why don't I wield it and you find out?
Oh,
Ooh.
Please do. Good. We could.
You see, hold on, wait. I have a question. Are we still on the ferry at this moment?
No.
Oh,
This is the conversation that's happened as you've left the ferry and as you've been going.
Oh yeah. I'm
We're on
just thinking
horseback.
it's ferry wrestling is about to
No.
become
You travel for a couple more days at this pace, lightening up to one another as you travel. The time on the road seems to be good for building rapport with each other, much different from the initial meet when everything was still very tense in front of the court. Over time, you leave the Whispering Woods behind, crossing the green fields of Heart's Domain, leading up to the border of the town of Crescent, where a palace sits outside of the city of Crescent, away from everybody in town there, in the middle of Crescent and Heart's Domain, able to oversee both of them. It's a marvelous looking palace known as Willow Hall, sitting on a clarion clear pool of water. You can actually hear as you approach a chorus of songbirds singing from the rafters of this palace as you approach. This is where you will find Duke Halbert of Crescent. He's a very luxurious man, and this first impression certainly speaks to it. You ride in. You ride in past the various townsfolk going about their day-to-day. A couple of children are pitching stones, trying to see if they can scare off one of the birds. Their parents have taught them, of course, that the birds in this area tend to be spies of the Witch of the Woods. So, while not trying to hit the birds, they want them to not spy on them and tell the witch about their childhood secrets. A trio of tacksmen drag a rebel sympathizer off the streets. As you march through, people look up at the peculiar four of you with interest, possibly with reservation. You realize that you don't quite know how long the Thronebreaker has been working in this area, and therefore you don't know how many people might be starting to sway already. You approach Willow Hall, dismount, leave your horses with the attendees, and you are brought in to meet Duke Halbert. He is an aesthete. He's a patron of art, and his luxurious attire shows this. He is much more gaudy dressed than anybody in the Kingdom of Myth. He sits at a table, looking over papers with a boredom as he approves and disapproves taxes and credits. Standing next to him is a knight attaché to the duchy, Sir Rylan the Hallow-Eyed. He is an aging knight. Sir Joanna, you know of Sir Rylan, but you have not met him in quite some time. The four of you are announced as you enter, as the Duke looks up to you and goes, "Oh, my guests from the Kingdom of Myth, please do come in. Thank you so much for attending to this matter. It's been god-awful lately with what she's been doing."
Understandably so. And there was a bit of a cold glance that I noticed as we were riding in. It seems that her influence has made some sort of an impact in the area.
Yes, what can I say? It's hard work running a town. You have to do your duty. You have to make sure things run properly, and that does mean taxes. And of course, when somebody comes along with the promise of none, people immediately cling to it. They don't think about what it means if nobody's paying for these things. They just hear the freedom, and it sways them.
Jarth's expression immediately is like one of intense judgment, because he looked at the Duke and he's reminded that the Green Gun Gang used to rob stagecoaches owned by guys like this. For good reason. They had a lot, and they fed well after those winnings. But yeah, he just kind of feels like it's so gaudy that it's bringing him back to...
I will say, you feel Sparrowhawk's gaze on you. She's sharing the exact same look, like, I'm not crazy, right? We don't have to be polite.
No, Rooster, I'm right
But
there
she's
with
also
you.
kind of half listening. But she's also half listening to the singing birds, if there are any nearby. And if there are, I'd like to invoke their name.
You can hear them echoing through the area, and okay, you'd like to invoke their name. What would you like to sway them to do?
I don't want to sway them to do anything. I'd like to hear what they have to say. I'd like to sway their tongues to let me know what they're saying.
Okay. There's the small word under the breath of Sparrowhawk Poe that only those next to her can hear. You cannot tell what happened. Only Sparrowhawk Poe can hear what happened. As the birds sing songs of gluttony, of graciousness. They feed well in Willow Hall because this is a hall of prosperity and luxury. They are happy in here, but you definitely get the sense of they are so happy in here that they are not leaving here. There isn't anything near as good as this out there. And the more you listen to it, the more keenly aware you become of the juxtaposition of the town outside into here. Riding up on its own, it seemed fine. It seemed similar to the Kingdom of Myth. It's not a destitute town, but Willow Hall is very different. And everybody within its walls seems to eat well.
Her feathers will puff up for a moment as like she's joking with Jarth as she's half listening to him and the birds and just hope we do not have to stay here too long. Truth be told, this Duke, it feels like being submerged in butter, just sickly and greasy and wrong.
In butter.
The Duke leans forward on the table and goes, so, tell me what you need to know so that you can kill this Thronebreaker and just have us be done with it. And Sir Ryland steps forward and goes, or negotiate with her. We don't need to act brashly. And the Duke just waves his hand and goes, she's causing such a ruckus. She killed a tax collector in town. Do you know what that does to the morale of the kingdom? Yes, I know, sir, but you have to think, I'm tired of this. The king himself sent this attaché to assist us with this matter. Did you not?
Well, Well, I'm not going to take the time to learn your name when a title shall suffice. Mr. Mr. Duke. I have heard tale about such a slaughtered tax collector, truly. The highest of crimes. Criminal in just the lowest of capacities. Exactly. I need to see that man's dead body, if I could.
Oh, well, yes, he's buried he's buried in the town of Hope, just south of here.
South of here? I'm told to go this way for a dead body, that way for a dead body. Ain't no shortage of them, I assure you. Why do I have to go ferry myself everywhere for a cadaver? Doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, he's in the ground.
Right, well, okay. How long ago did you say he was buried?
Oh, about 3-4 days past.
That'll have to do, I guess. Well then, I will need to speak with that gentleman or madam. I have yet to see the body, but I will need to speak with them privately. My compatriots, you are allowed to join me if you wish. I will warn you, it will not be pretty.
I will let you know that it will take you probably about a few hours to travel south to the city of the town of Hope from here. So this is something you will want to join in together on.
Joanna, as she's hearing all of this, the kind of hearing and acknowledging the murmuring that's there behind her between Jarth and Sparrowhawk, definitely in her own way really appreciating the idea of, okay, well, yeah, I suppose if we have to talk to a dead man, then having a voice of the loam here isn't going to be a problem. But she's mostly trying to hone in on this dissension between the two in front of them. And just looking...
It's very clear that the Duke is looking for the easiest option. The Thronebreaker is disrupting his ability to tax the people. He wants that taken care of. The easiest option is simply to kill her. Sir Ryland seems to understand the situation a bit more, similar to what you all were told.
And with the gravitas of a knight-errant like herself, she raises her hand as if to still, just kind of to pause the Duke on where he's speaking and just, well, from our orders from the Crown, emphasizing the Crown, is that we are not to seek corporal capital punishment as our first option. In fact, as should be done here in the kingdom, anyone who goes against their oath and everything that they had taken, particularly one of the knights themselves, will need to be addressed through more than simply the blade or the bullet. So we should not act rashly. And she makes a look at Ryland, they said the name was?
Ryland, yes.
Ryland, and has a has one of those like mental like, we need to talk later. Just side her the glance, but does that, but then smiles back to the dude. I hope that you understand, coming from orders from His Majesty.
This, Sir Joanna, I'm going to call a challenge. It's not going to be a high consequence challenge, mind you, but the consequence here will be that should you fail it, the Duke will not be as willing to abide by your word and may seek other means to problem. Now, once again for everybody else out there, we're going to build a dice pool. Is there a reputation that you think can help you in this situation, or is there an ability that can invoke reputation?
I believe so. I'm looking at either Imperious or Resolute. I feel like Resolute in this, particularly through her loyalty to the crown, may be more of it. She's not trying to aim for intimidation, but aim for a, hey, don't tell me what to do, sir. Coming from this one. We also have in this, invoking that reputation. Scrolly. Once per, I don't know if, okay, I think,
you can use Imperious, because your reputations reset once per refresh, which is once per showdown. You've already had a showdown, so Imperious is back.
Imperious is back. Okay.
So Resolute, Imperious, whichever one you want to use, pick one, and that will add a d6 into your pool.
Okay, so I'm going to, I think I'll use Imperious for this one. I was mostly looking down at Servant of the King, because that's per Doom, not per...
That'll be per the season, yes.
Yeah, no, I don't want to hold on to that guy.
Is there a piece of equipment that you think will help you in this situation?
I think in this, I would use... would I be able to use her royal garb? Like the presence...
I'll give you that.
Yeah, the presence of her royal garb, where, again, this is pretty far flung from the city of Myth. And she did just come in. She's all shined up. She's polished up. She's a very strong and intimidating woman. And as a knight errant, she knows the weight that she's going to carry. And especially having seen the dissension here, she's like, children is the energy she's bringing to the party.
Absolutely. I think that makes perfect sense. I don't think any other D6s are going to be gained because there's no one else that can put themselves in danger for this.
Mm-hmm.
You're not putting yourself in danger, and there's nothing that makes this unusually challenging to lose this. So you're going to roll these 2 D6, and you're going to tell me the highest result.
All right, can do. Three. Is there anything I can add to that?
Unfortunately not.
Not even having a scary loam man behind me? Can scary loam man count as an extra dice?
I would be a daisy if I could, but at this point in time, I just don't know. Storyteller, what could I give this?
I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking. I will say that I will allow you to add the extra die to this, but the consequence, for an ally putting themselves into this with you, the consequence that you will face, though, since the Duke will not look kindly upon things, means that you would not be allowed to talk to this body. Should this fail?
That's rough.
This is one extra die, so this is a chance. She just needs to get a 4, 5, or a 6. on this one die. But
Oh.
I am willing to absolutely throw in my loyalty for many reasons with Iona. So if I can give that up, I'd give you a D6. I will absolutely come to your aid if you ask for it.
okay. Roll one more d6.
I think that this manifests in the form of her reiterating essentially the itinerary of what was given to them from when they left that throne room. Of
Absolutely.
just, hey, I don't take orders from you vibe. This is what my
Right.
king issued for us to do. That's why I have a godsman with me.
Right.
Okay.
So you were looking for a 4, 5, or a 6.
That's a 4.
All right.
Ooh.
So you can see the Duke is listening. He hears your words, but you can see that, as you mentioned, this is a bit far flung from the kingdom of myth, or the city of myth itself, even though it is within the kingdom. It is still across the river from the kingdom, outside of the mountain range. He is the Duke out here. He rules this entire side of things. But he looks over to the group that you brought with you, a very peculiar-looking mystic. A man that seems to know his way around with a gun on his chest, and a very imposing man by your side who is already keen to get involved with the dead. And he says, okay, fine. Whatever the kingdom thinks is best for this. I will trust in the judgment of the crown, but it still has to get handled.
Of course.
And I will let you all know that with this roll, it is not going to add a showdown token to this. It is going, however, add a doom token to the overall goal, as the Duke is not going to try to get other people to kill her over the course of this, thereby making things a little bit easier for you come the end game.
Okay, I was about to say, reminding me the difference on the Doom token versus that, because Doom just sounds scary. So if you could just refresh me on that.
Doom tokens are what you factor into your roll when we get to that big final endgame showdown.
Gotcha. Okay, great. Because I knew showdown tokens were like a whole.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. For me as mayor, you're like, you get a Doom token, and I was like, I can't tell if that's good right now.
It is good. I will say, however, that you do see that. You see that he's not fully convinced, and you get the sense that he may seek a means to resolve this, but he has heard he has heard the words about not resorting to brash action.
She's gonna give one more look to Ryland before, like, kind of concluding that moment of just, again, like there's a story here.
Sir Ryland gives you a nod from Knight Attaché to Errant Knight. And you can see, as he does that, he cuts a look down to the Duke, and you can read it in a minute. He envies where you are, coming from the kingdom of myth, on assignment from the king, rather than being out here, an attaché to this guy.
That tracks.
Sir Ryland looks over to you, Tristan, and says, the town cemetery in Hope is where you'll find the tax collector that you wish to investigate. All of you, thank you so much for attending to this matter before the Thronebreaker makes things entirely out of hand here. Should you need to be put up in the town of Hope while you're here, just inform anyone at the inn that Sir Ryland of the Duke's court has taken on this cost.
Spearhawk breaks out of her reverie, just,
Oh, and should it please you, you of course have the services of the king's own mystic. If it should please you, of course, I understand that you are a man of great wealth.
and she side eyes Sir Lana, as she says this, like, we have something to talk about outside when we're in the car, when we're in the horse.
Mhm.
The Duke goes, that sounds fun. Doesn't it sound fun, Rylan? He goes, yes, it does, sir. And the Duke goes, all right, well, go. You have a body to get your hands dirty with. Thank you again. The city of Crescent owes its deepest gratitude to the crown. You all
Gratitude to the crown.
exit out.
And I helped.
You exit out to your horses. As mentioned, it's a few hours south to the town of Hope, where you will find the grave site that Tristan wishes to investigate. It seems that you all have some opinions about what happened. Would you like to talk about them?
Are we at the graveyard already?
You're en route.
We're on route. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I see the moment we're past the town's border. Sparrowhawk just turns to the rest of the party and Maester and just looks at everyone.
Did any of you also feel like you were bread dipped into melted butter in that room? It was just indulgent, rich, thick, greedy. Even the birds there, they refused to leave because they were so thick with fat and richness.
I don't know, Rooster. You make it sound like that's dinner. I'm hungry. Are we gonna eat?
But I gave you all of my jerky. How could you still be hungry?
It was a long horse ride. Good gosh.
We will camp eventually,
Great.
but I do see what you're saying there. The Duke himself had a very specific air about him. One that makes me see perhaps why, when the issue of taxes are brought up, some may look upon us unfavorably in the town. You felt those eyes upon us as well, and looks to the others asking.
He definitely strikes me as the kind of gentleman who has a tell. And that tell is that he is desperate. What he is desperate for might be obvious, might be a little bit more so. Maybe he just wants money, maybe he wants something greater. But this I'll tell you for free. I can be exploited. Speaking of, I'm about to talk with a dead gentleman. And I don't know how many questions maximum I'm going to get out of this little tete-a-tete, so I would appreciate your undivided creativity. What questions would you have of the dead man?
How's your day? What's going on with you?
Oh,
Don't
Jarth,
mind me.
Jarth, this is not a date. I'm not here for small talk. Though my tongue is ample and very clever, I will use it for better means.
Ample?
Please, I'm going to.
Does the Sir not wish
Have
to
it
know
if we
about the
keep talking like
Godsmith?
this.
You can see
you
she huffs and looks away. And she says that, adjusting how she sits in her saddle. Just
A cold shoulder does denote a hot temper. Well, anyway, let's continue on with this conversation about the dead man. What questions would you have of them?
Okay, well, first and foremost, knowing Sir Olimer was the killer of this tax person, I'm sure Sir Olimer wouldn't do it without good reason. Maybe he looked at her funny, or maybe he disrespected her name, or I don't know. These errands, you guys, you gestures vaguely at Ariana.
her eyebrow raises, just waiting to hear the rest of this sentence.
I immediately put up a black leather gloved hand trying to stop this from getting worse. Careful now, Jareth. There are two more dangerous places to step upon. One is the grave. The other is the grave you're digging yourself.
I've had more restful sleeps.
I must say, we should ask this dead man about the circumstances of his death. I have seen many a tax collector in my time, grew up with them even, and they're rather... Well, I do not mean of any offense to the king or his courts or how things run, but they're the most weaselly little creatures I've ever laid eyes upon. It's an extraordinary circumstance that a tax collector would be around a known rebel, I have to wonder how culpable was a starved town with a fatted duke in the death of a tax collector.
Particularly to the point of sowing dissension enough that it would cause for calling upon the crown.
Indeed. And fear not, Sir Tristan, I might have a few talents as well to help keep this corpse chatty, as it were.
Well, that would be a mildly delightful surprise. The talents I will be using to keep this one chatty shall not be so, shall we say, fantastical or whimsical. So it seems that we are focused upon the reason for this most cowardly, butter-dipped man's death. Is there a third thing we want to focus on? Maybe something that can be seen beyond the mortal eye as the soul is leaving the body. Something about this throne breaker.
Sir
At this point in the
Yuan?
conversation,
Go ahead.
Lots of thoughts. Lots of thoughts,
Let's
baby.
get
One at a
into
time,
it.
but I love them.
Okay, go ahead, Abby or Jerry with that one. We'll come back into it that way. Yeah.
I'll go first real quick, just because as the grief-stricken Willbringer Jarth, as the Godsman continues talking about speaking to the dead and exhuming this guy's corpse, he gets more withdrawn from the conversation, like just kind of rides his horse a little further away from everyone as they go on the specifics of this matter. Man's not running his mouth much anymore.
Yes, Sparrowhawk will raise an eyebrow, but he's quiet. I like him quiet.
Sir Joanna notices as Jarth trails back and just keeps an eye on that. Like, I don't know what I don't, obviously not a challenge or anything within it, but she's just keeping an eye on and now listening out for what's keeping people chatty and what's not. All right, so I think it would be safe to assume that, well, I guess who was he collecting taxes from at the time of their demise? Because that could also lead us then, depending on who or where the taxes were being collected, could lead us perhaps to those who are connected to the Thronebreaker and could ultimately lead us to her.
Very well, any potential culprits, collection of taxes, and perhaps if our corpse is willing to stay with us for a bit longer, we might inquire about the nature of the Duke. I will say the nature in that room was utterly... I have met greedy men before, and that was another level entirely. I almost wonder if he's under some manner of enchantment. I mean, you've met the witch, three of you. Jarth, you haven't yet, but she could be quite persuasive, especially if you're of the feathered persuasion myself. But those birds were quite willing to stay there. I have to wonder if the influence is just cracked lobster claws and dishes filled with butter and not something more sinister. And maybe this tax collector saw that as well.
Could be. The only man who would know it would be him.
You ride on into the town of Hope. It's a swollen bundle of farmhouses that turned into a bustling town. There's many people wandering around, and you see a small group of people dressed rather similarly. Jarth, you know this group. This is a roamer gang known as the Rotten Spar. But they don't seem to be on their usual roaming gang business. They are wearing an emblem of the Duke. It seems that the Duke has employed the Rotten Spar to what end? Keep the peace? Perhaps they are the tax collectors? You recognize who these people actually are as you ride through town towards the cemetery.
I quietly note the fact that they've been deputized and just give them a very quaint tip of my hat. I don't know if they recognize me. It's been a little while.
It's
but I
been some
recognize-
time.
Yes.
You make it to the cemetery where a very old grave tender greets you. Afternoon, folks. How can I help you today?
Well, hello there. It is always a pleasure to see the grave tender.
You're a guardsman of the loam, aren't you?
That I am in the bony flesh.
I have a sense about these things. How can I help a holy man on this afternoon?
Well, I would have a few words, but unfortunately the only ears that will hear them have been buried here, and I need to get access to that devout believer in my goddess. Could you dig him up for me?
Whom do you speak of?
Oh, I was told a couple days past, 3 to 4, there was a noble and stalwart of most tax collector cut down in the prime.
I know which plot you speak of. Come with me. And he turns and hobbles away, picking up a shovel off of the gate and walking down about 5-6 rows. This is not a large cemetery, mind you. We're coming to a plot that looks rather freshly implanted. Very shakily takes the shovel in, shovels the dirt out, puts the shovel in, shovels the dirt out, shovel in, shovels the dirt out. This goes on for quite some time.
Yeah, Tristan, not lifting a finger to help, does kind of fan himself with his own hat, going, "My grave tender, you are a daisy. I'm just breaking a sweat looking at you."
And his skin is sun tanned and leathered, and his arms have a strength that betrays his appearance, having to move the dead, put dirt in, lift it back out. After about a half hour of digging, this man was not buried too terribly deep.
So once the body is in view and ready for exhumation, I look to the grave tender. Now, you have been a most humble host and servant, so I'm going to give you the opportunity. Do you want to see truth and damn your soul like a fiery hell pit with knowledge? Or do you want to save yourself that terrible luxury and be on your way?
Well, since you've given me the opportunity, I think I'm going to be on my way.
I knew I liked you for a reason. You absolutely are, Daisy.
You just let me know once you've found what you're looking for. And he hobbles away with the shovel.
Once he's out of sight, I ask everyone to get in close. Bring out my holy book.
Specifically, stands back while everyone, the other two, gather close. It's like, I'm gonna run to the general store and pick up some sick clothes. So you guys.
And Spearhawk, actually, if you're okay with it, Jerry, she's gonna like grab you by the collar with her very discerningly sharp little talons.
All right, Rooster.
You are the king. You're on this mission sent by His Grace himself. You are going to stay with us, and you're going to see it there. Is that clear?
I could really use a smoke right now. I would just.
Spearhawk just like snaps her fingers like tiny little flame.
Have it here.
like the body's already out, right? Like it's already like presented.
The coffin is out, yes.
Yeah, he's like not. He's like doing everything to avert his gaze from the corpse. Like
Easy.
I lean in. Do you have shall we say, a different constitution for this moment?
Let's not get into it. I would love to just turn this way, and you guys do whatever you need to do.
Just let go of his collar.
I'm gonna whisper into your ear. Vedete ergo quadrisum fiunt tassant. I saw you being quiet when we mentioned an acquaintance of yours. Now that's got to be your knowledge only. I can't pry. But at some point, when smiles become silent, I do become careful.
Sure. Yeah.
Well then, enough of this patty-footing around. Let's get right to it, shall we? I open up my book, and like a bookmark, I pull out a poker chip. Made from hewn bone, painted a matte black with gold filigree and my name on it. And I place it down on the dirt, and I start speaking in the words of the Loam herself, even going so far as the ritual to pull off the boot that I've been wearing since you have all known me. And as I tip it upside down, an ungodly amount of grave dirt falls out of my boot. I slide it back on, pull out a deck of cards, shuffle, split the deck, fan it, bridge it, pull it back, and I say, now come to the table. We have cards to play.
And with a creaking sound from the wooden coffin, releasing its weight, the corpse of this tax collector sits upright, slack.
That's never gonna freak me out.
The hand reaches forward and takes the cards takes the deck of cards from Tristan's hand. As Tristan, you hear the words that you always hear when you do this, a raspy whisper in the wind. Ideal.
It is your house. You may deal as such.
You are dealt 2 cards. Which 2 cards are you dealt?
Oh man.
Okay, so assuming this is a traditional deck of cards that we would know in our world.
Yes.
By the sake of my gun, by the sake of my life and reputation, I will pull an ace and an 8.
Which suits?
The way I like my coffee. Black. Clubs. Both of them.
Fantastic. 3 cards are laid out at the start. A 10 of clubs, which tells you of a struggle that occurred to set the scene. A 9 of spades. The struggle turns to anguish. And a 7 of spades. Running away in attempts to flee for one's life before being struck down. The corpse says, ask your questions.
As I'm keeping my 2 cards close, peeking at them, looking at the pot right now, looking at the burn, I look to him. Well, you were shot down tragically about 4 or 5 days ago. We believe we may know who, but we would like to first ask the circumstances and why that you were shot down.
Example to be made. As the corpse seems to look at its 2 cards, You know that it's not. It knows what it has.
I'm looking at this thing. The gambler inside of me is just going, I'll have to wait for the river. I'm doing good, but I ain't got nothing yet. At least nothing I can write home about. Second question, when you're ready, House.
Another question before I draw the card.
We know about your noble profession, sir. But who were you taxing during the moment of your demise?
He pulls the 5 of diamonds and places it onto the card spread before you. Hard times and ill health. The common people, the downtrodden, the very people that we don't like to see get taxed, but who in these situations always seem to be the first ones.
I sigh a heavy sigh. Well, now you've gone and given me a card I don't need, but thank you so much for giving it to me. Let me know when the next question is allowed, sir. The house is still yours, after all.
Ask it while you can.
Excellent. I know the name of the woman that slew you like a dog. I want to know more about her. Throne break, I believe. What would you say, or what would my goddess tell you, is her greatest failure and sin?
Jarthu's back has been turned to this entire encounter. You see him kind of look over his shoulder.
Her greatest sin. And he draws the final card and places it down. An Ace of Hearts. Emotion. And emotional forces. Her greatest sin is caring for the people. This sets her on her path to destruction. Caring for the people caused her to lose her title and lose her way.
Jarth kills a cigarillo and stomps it out.
One last question before we show our hands.
Well, now, Mr. Dealer, you have me at a loss. I have to now come up with some great and almighty questions, so I'll just say this, or ask this simple question. What was the last words you heard her say after she killed you?
It had to be done.
Doesn't it always?
He places his hand down. And you do yours. He has a pair of 10s. You do have a pair of aces. You have the upper hand, but just barely.
As I see the hand, I will call and throw my 2 aces.
And the corpse gives a broken smile. It slumps back into its coffin.
I take my poker chip first. Put it in my lovely black book. Take my cards, now probably a smattering mess. Shake off the grave dirt, put them back on the deck. Slide that into another pocket.
I am going to reward the group a showdown token for this fascinating display. With this, Tristan, you turn back to your group. Those of you that witnessed this have never seen anything like it before. Even you, Jarth, who only had the auditory, never heard anything like this before.
Are you done, Godsman? Are you gonna put the cadaver back in the dirt now?
More won't last. Flourish, I suppose. I reach back into my boot, pull out some fresh grave dirt, and I throw it onto the casket one last time. And then as I call the name of death, I wave my hand over it, and almost as if time undoing, the casket just slides back in through the wet and freshly shoveled dirt, and it just knits like bone as the dirt overtakes it once more. And as I wave my hand, I do believe we are done here, but I am mighty thirsty and just a bit parched from the travel. I would like to suggest an evening of drinking. I think that always does a long drive justice. Who wants to challenge me to a couple of shots? I won't pull the trigger.
And at that word, you actually do hear a trigger being pulled out in town. There's a commotion outside of the graveyard, outside of this cemetery, some ways down. Do you all head to the entrance of the cemetery?
So like we hear like a bang?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm definitely.
Yeah, she's going.
The dead man's hand is up and ready, and so am I. I'm moving.
You all head up. The grave tender is leaning on a shovel looking out as you all come up, and he goes, one way or another, there's going to be more work to be done. Looks like the rebels have had enough of that rotten spar there collecting taxes for the Duke, and she sent him in to do the job.
I beg your pardon, sir? A bandit?
You look out and you see people dressed in dusty clothes. There's no sense of unity except for the fact that they are unified together. One of them has shot down one of the people that was wearing the Duke's seal, Duke's crest, that you saw coming into town, who Jarth recognized as a member of this roamer gang that has been deputized. People are fleeing the streets, and there's beginnings of a standoff happening.
Not bandits, Rooster. Deputies.
Now this here is a predicament. You have a choice as a group. You can enter combat to assist the deputies of the dukedom, of the duchy, and stop these rebels from slaying them and possibly galvanizing the town behind it. Or you can let it happen. This will mean that the threat level will increase, which is a higher threat for you to face down the line. But I'm not going to force you into battle. This is a choice I'm going to leave to you.
I have a question.
Yes.
How many Rotten Spar deputies are there, and how many rebels are there?
I'm going to say there's about 3 Rotten Spars left, and I'm going to say that there's about 5 rebels left. 1 for each of you to have a challenge, and then a final show.
So, I have Deadshot, right? What do I gotta do to shoot 6 people's guns out of their hands?
I have a question that may also kind of go along with that.
Okay.
As opposed to the shooting, I would like to potentially use one of my names of power in order to mitigate the situation.
How so?
By use of gravity to stop them from moving. To try to slow the motion within it, or at least to crowd control, ultimately.
We're going to start with Jarth.
Cool.
This is going to be a challenge. Or even a roll. We're going to build your dice pool from d6s.
Okay.
So, first of all, accuracy with this weapon is going to help you in the challenge, so you are going to gain a d6.
Okay.
And now we're going to build your dice pool from the rest of it. You may invoke one of your reputations if you feel that it would help you in this matter to gain a d6.
I got Indomitable. Would that count?
I think that would certainly count. So that's one more d6.
Got it. So that's 2d6 so far.
Mm-hmm. The equipment to help you in this regard would be your pistol.
Yes. The last word.
Yes, so that's a third d6.
Great.
Now, Sir Joanna did mention starting to utilize the name of power for the gravity. Sir Joanna, if you'd be willing to not roll dice on this, I will give an additional die to Jarth here, as an ally is putting themselves in danger to help.
Happily.
And now I have to ask you a very sincere question, Jarth, and answer me entirely honestly. If the answer is no, then so be it. With what you have just seen, and with the knowledge that if this fails, you're going to have to do more, would your grief-stricken reputation hinder you in this moment?
Yes.
Or do you feel resolute? Then you're going to subtract these.
Great. So we're down to 3d6 again.
Yes. And I thank you for your honesty. That also means that it will not come up again. It will not come up again in a challenge in this episode. Should you be in the second challenge?
Yeah, he just saw some whack shit with the taxpayer's body and stuff like that. So that's definitely put him in a weird headspace. But
so the consequence of this, the consequence is that the rebels are going to turn on you all, specifically you two first. If you roll a 1 through a 5, if you roll a 6, you can succeed in this in a rather stunning fashion. 1 through 3 means that you're going to fail at this task. So maybe you have dead shots, so you're going to hit your mark, but it's not going to do exactly what you want it to do. 4 through 6 means that you're going to accomplish your task.
Okay.
So roll your pool of d6s and tell me the highest result.
It's a 3.
I will say that because you have dead shot, you can't miss. It just doesn't do what you wanted it to do. Perhaps it's you and Joanna not working together before, as the gravity attempts to lock things in place, they tense up, and when the bullet hits their guns, it doesn't free from their hand. It doesn't knock the guns away from the rotten spar. With this, they turn in the direction of the bullets and face the 4 of you. And they will draw their guns. I would like for each of you to make a challenge in this regard. You may go in whichever order you wish, and the challenge will be to dispatch a member of the rebels. Death is the easiest option. If you wish to be creative and do so without death, you can, understanding that them living means that they may pass word on of who you are. Who would like to go first?
After I finish shooting, I shout, I just want to get a drink. Quit fighting!
I much like the poker chip I have two sides and two ideas on how to handle this. I can either call upon death itself and with my double-barreled sawed-off shotgun, the dead man's hand, put them down. And it will not be a problem for me, as this is part of my job, is to bury people. Or I can call upon memory and speak to a time when this anger, this rage was not so teeming, and we can all go back and get a drink. Now, that's just what I can do. I don't know how to help you or what we can do together.
I will say that these challenges that you all are doing are going to be happening simultaneously. So you do whatever you think is right in this moment, as what you do is not going to domino into what everybody else is going to do necessarily.
Okay. Man. No, please, no, please.
You may all discuss if you'd like to discuss.
Right. So, because if Joanna has used this in that moment, I think that essentially she's come here in the mind, of course, of not killing. She's specifically trying to not kill the throne breaker, because in her line of justice and in her line of doing the right thing within this, that if that is the care that's being afforded to the leader of these rebels, then that in her mind needs to be the care that's afforded to the rebels themselves, in order to, hey, what you're doing is wrong, we're going to go through this the judicious way. However, it's a blatant killing out there. It's kind of a problem. Sometimes you gotta like set an example.
Yep. However, the Thronebreaker's crew has not shown this same discipline. 2 people have now died that you know of, and you were told to not kill just the Thronebreaker.
Just the Thronebreaker.
Either approach is entirely acceptable.
Right. I think that also looking within this, the kind of like the mechanics of this game and what she can do. I think, if I'm not mistaken, she just has melee on her.
Apart from your names of power, yes.
Apart from my names of power, everything is melee. So unless we got in closer for her to
remember that challenges don't work like with proximity and whatnot. No. The challenge that you roll is going to encompass the entire motion. So if you decide that you want to fight, your challenge is going to involve you closing in with a sword and cutting somebody down before they can shoot you. It's going to be the same difficulty as any other challenge.
May I then make a choice for what Tristan will do in this moment?
Yes.
Okay. Understanding the mission. We have to win hearts and minds, because this is not about winning a fight. This is about winning opinion. Reputation. We must win. And though maybe we'll get to a point where she becomes so desperate and despised that we can kill her at that point, because she'll be an independent agent, but right now she has opinion backing her. Jareth just made a really good point. I just want a drink. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise that shotgun, the dead man's hand, put it high above my head, pull a trigger, warning shot. The explosion sounds like bones rattling in a trunk, just, and as that rips off, I'm going to shout, using my charismatic reputation,
That's
and calling upon the name of memory, name of power memory. I want to, after that rattle, I wanted to kind of start tripping in their minds the idea of glasses just clinging down onto a bar stool, laughter, pianos playing, coins exchanging hands over poker. And I want to say something out loud of like, now let's not all be foolish. Dead men don't get to drink whiskey and play cards. They can die in the street like dogs, but I think we'd all rather live like men in a saloon.
I'm going to remind everybody that this is happening simultaneously, so everybody do think of your actions that are happening at the same time as this. That being said, I will have Tristan roll and resolve, and then everything will resolve at the end. So Tristan, you have invoked your reputation, that is 1d6. You have a piece of equipment that has helped you in the situation, your shotgun, to draw attention. That is another d6. I don't think that you have put yourself in danger. You are already in the danger. And I don't think, and an ally is not currently putting themselves in danger to help you. This is not unusually challenging. You're not facing this alone, and you're not hindered by a reputation. So you're going to have 2d6 to roll, take the highest result. The consequence, before you roll, the consequence is that they are going to shoot at you if you fail, if the memory does not supplant. It's not going to be a kill shot necessarily, but they're going to shoot at you.
That's fair. A slight maiming.
Yeah. You know, it's a little peppering is what it is.
A little Swiss cheese in.
You know, Swiss cheese.
No, we're bringing the British back into the Swiss.
A little tickle.
So this is funny because I got the same number on both dice. They're both a 5.
Okay, I'm going to make a note of that. I'm gonna make a note of that. Who is next?
Storyteller, I want to do something a little crazy.
Okay.
So I'm upright saying I'm going to take a cost if I could do some crazy shit.
Well,
And by crazy
there will be a
shit-
consequence no matter what in this challenge. Yes.
Extra is a treat.
All right.
Could I force myself to transform instantaneously, causing myself probably terrible damage, to turn into a sparrowhawk, grab a gun, just as a show of power, snatch it out of someone's hands?
I would say that you would definitely hurt yourself in doing this.
It's my first combat. I'm a little guy outside the tower. Absolutely. I will take the hurt. Absolutely.
I will say you do have magic, other magic that you can do, but if you want to do this, then you are going to you're going to temporarily take on the reputation wounded, which will hinder you later on.
This seems like little guy behavior. Yeah, it's
And
the
again,
the moment.
this
Yeah,
is-
I
and
turn
again,
into a bird.
This is the consequence of this. Meaning
Yeah.
if you roll a
Because, like, on
6,
one hand, I could metagame. I could be like, I could do some blood magic bullshit easier. But also, what would Sparrowhawk do? She would go with the most ridiculous, life-threatening option because she thinks it's the best choice. So I will take that wounded reputation.
Okay, now remember, you're only going to take this reputation if you fail, like if you suffer a consequence, because you're going to build your dice pool out first.
But
Okay.
you're gonna succeed, okay?
So first,
Yes, sir. I'm going to succeed.
I would say that in this instance, your sorceress reputation would aid you. So
Oh,
that would
absolutely.
be D6. Do you have any equipment that would aid you in this situation, in this transformation?
I'm going to say my staff because that has inherent force within it. I'll probably have to siphon out some of that force,
Okay.
but it's going to help.
And that's another D6. Once again, I will give you a third D6 that you're putting yourself in danger to succeed because you are specifically taking a wounded reputation. So that is 3 D6s.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Let's roll
Now-
well. Okay. Oh boy.
Now, of course, like if you fail this, you will gain that reputation. The threat of this particular quest is going to increase by 1 if you fail, because of that extra danger.
Okay, we're gonna roll really well then. Okay. 2 6s.
You are going to rapidly transform in front of everybody, flitting into this bird, and we're going to hold on that. We'll resolve everything all at once. Who's next?
I think in this, Suryoana is going to, keeping in that same mission mind of what Tristan had, of going in and us getting blood on our hands is not going to keep us on the task we are. I think this is going to then be her using the same force of gravity powers, but as well, like kind of like doubling down on it, and with a knightly voice going, "I say halt!" as she doubles down within that.
All right. What is the reputation that you are going to invoke here?
This one is going to be Imperious. I've already used that, or am I not allowed
You
to
used
use that now?
Resolute. You
I
used
used
Resolute,
Okay.
and now you're using Imperious.
This is going to be Imperious. This is like a studied soldier who is issuing an order that she expects to be followed.
Absolutely. What equipment would you say is aiding you in this situation?
Let's see. I think for flavor, right? So for flavor within this, if am I like the garb as well, but also for flavor as she is using this magic that she has learned from the name, from the bloodlifter, as she was being healed from being damaged by a magicked bullet. I want to say that in the night, like in this lower light as this is happening, you guys all start to see like an eerie blue glow that's going up through the veins, that is crawling up from where her heart was nearly pierced by this bullet, as it is glowing up through where that blood goes, even down into the tips of her fingers, as she is issuing this, as she uses the deed, essentially, of having been wounded by a magic bullet.
Absolutely. So that is 2d6s. I will say you're not putting yourself in any more particular danger to succeed, and everybody is doing this challenge individually, so an ally is not going to help you, but you also are not going to be losing any d6s. So
Okay.
that is 2d6. Once again, the consequence here is going to be that you will be fired upon.
Okay.
You can take a bullet.
All right, another bullet. Wouldn't that be a whole thing? All right, there we go. I got a 4 and a 3, so that'll be going with the 4.
The 4, yes. You can feel that radiation of gravity ringing out, and we will resolve that with everybody else's as we move to Jarth. What is your movement here?
He's gonna dive for cover because clearly guns are still shooting. So I don't know if what's nearby, like a hay bale, I don't know what's the environment looking like right now.
You can probably get around like the side of a building because you were at the cemetery, and then it's happening just like a little bit into town there, so like they're coming towards you all.
Okay, yeah. So he's gonna like put his back against a building, and start. He's loading bullets into the last word. Since he just, I don't know, how many bullets did he shoot in the first salvo? Like just 3? Yeah.
Yeah, just about 3.
Okay, cool. So yeah, he reloads to full cylinder, and he's going to seeing that he recognizes the rotten spar and he's going to parlay. He's going to, as roamers do, and he's going to be like, "Fellas, we don't gotta do this. Let's take it nice and easy."
So you're trying to convince the rotten spar to not
like de-escalate,
continue the fight. Okay.
Yeah. Let's de-escalate.
Very good. Let's build your dice pool.
Cool.
All right, so you only have one reputation left to use here, which is academic.
Okay. I don't know if that applies here, but I
will ask you this: in your time as a teacher, did you find yourself in similar situations?
Yes, a lot of schoolyard fights, a lot of kids at each other's throats for really stupid reasons. So yeah,
and that is 1d6.
He's coming in this like he's on the schoolyard, and yeah, okay, cool.
Do you have a piece of equipment that you believe helps you in this situation? I agree. Yes,
Let's just do the 1d6 and
I
see
agree.
how that goes.
Well, hang on. Uh, if you're willing to put yourself in a little bit more danger, in that the rotten spar may misunderstand your intention here and possibly sweep you up in this, you can add an additional d6, but that would be the consequence upon failure.
Sure. Let's put some
Okay.
additional danger here.
All right, so that's
nice.
2d6s.
Yeah. So he shouts, "Let's settle down." And I got a 6.
Excellent. All at once. I'll work this a bit backwards. Jarth yells out to the rotten spar to hold. And maybe it's the sound of your voice that rings out that some of them recognize. But they hear your words, and you see one of them put his hands out to the other two to stop them from closing in, to get this pincer in place. You've succeeded in this task. That is adding a showdown token to this. Joanna, your powerful words and the power that you have put into place has halted the one that was aiming to shoot at you. The gun did go off. Because you rolled decently well, it's going to dent your armor. It's not going to cause damage to you. You might take it personally should you wish there is absolutely a dent in your armor of this bullet ricocheting off, but no wound. You've earned another showdown token to this. Sparrowhawk, unwounded and faster than ever before, you have shapeshifted and snatched a revolver from one of their hands.
And I want to say for flavor, I throw it down at Alana's feet as I swoop back across this battleground.
And that is another token. Tristan, you fired your gun up in the air and invoked this memory with everyone. The shot went off, and you feel your hand swing back as the bullet has dented into the side of the dead man's hand. The gun is still usable, but it is damaged. But you did, in fact, invoke this memory in everybody. You have also gained a token. There's a long pause. And here is where, as a group, you are going to decide who makes the last motion here. This is not a conventional showdown because of the path that you took. Between the four of you, pick one person to make this showdown roll, to call this off with the revolutionaries. I am only going to offer a bonus of... I'm only going to offer a bonus of 1 to this, with the cost being that if you fail this roll, the revolutionaries are going to turn tail and run back to the Thronebreaker. With the number of showdown tokens that you have gained, you will succeed at a cost in general. Because the Thronebreaker will hear of this, but she will lose allies as they will give up. I leave it between the four of you to discuss who would like to be the one to take this on. To remind everybody, this is going to be a single D6 roll. And the cost here in particular is going to be that, again, the Thronebreaker will learn of your names.
So we have 4 showdown tokens, correct?
5.
5. And is there a way we can use those 5 in this showdown? This one
That is
moment?
part of this. That's part
Okay.
of this, yes.
Okay.
That plus the bonus that I've given you is the reason why you have an almost guaranteed success, but it will be at a cost.
Well, what do you think? I'm happy to have Jareth give it a try. Yeah.
Yeah.
Garth?
Jarth can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, Bartholomew. How
Bartholomew.
could I
think
forget Bartholomew?
Bartholomew seems to have made a better connection than the others standing here.
Yeah. I know these guys.
I was gonna say he's the everyman.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're salt of the earth roamers. All right.
Take it.
Okay. So
Shark,
just roll
what do you say? Well, first, what do you say to this group to end this fight?
First round's on me. Just put your guns down.
So your push here is that everybody puts the guns down. We can talk this out over drinks.
Yeah. Nice and easy.
Simple, to the point.
Yep.
Once again, if you fail, which is not very likely, they will turn tail and run, which means you'll keep these allies and the stories. But regardless, the Thronebreaker is going to hear about what happened here today. Roll 1d6.
Somebody blow on that for me, would you? Just give me
Tula! Ha, Tula! No!
Now it's now it's nice and lube.
You know what
Hey,
to
look.
do.
Hey, look! Everyone knows a sparrow's gonna poke, but a hawk's gonna Tua. Let's get that done.
I'm going to scream.
Well, Jerry, what did you roll? A 1.
I rolled a 1. That's
Now here's what's going to happen. They freeze. They
But
freeze.
the tokens.
Give it a second. Give it
The
a second.
tokens, my lord.
Everybody freezes, and the rebels look to each other and they break into a run. They're going to run off, but there is a chance to attempt this showdown again. You are going to gain an additional showdown token if you take this. However, there is going to be a new cost at play here. Anybody can do this. You can do this. You can do this again, attempt to call them back, or anybody else can do this and attempt to do something else. Like,
Can I shoot them in the ankles?
yeah, it could be that. It could be that. It could be that. But first decide which of you is going to be the one to take on this showdown. I will say, you don't have to. You could leave this as it is, and this becomes, you save people from getting killed, but you lost this showdown. If you want to give it another go, you can. You're going to get a different cost though, but only if you take it. Everybody else will have a separate cost if they want to go it. Would you all like to discuss who's going to make this roll?
I only say that because Jarth is offended these guys turned down his offer for drinks. So,
That does seem like a very Jarth thing to do. I say we go with Jarth, but I also have a proposal. Here's my Shark Tank. Sparrowhawk's still transformed. We could do a really spooky Gondor moment, like Gandalf moment. I do my freaky blood magic shit in front of them. Staff, you're not leaving this town.
I'm here for that. All I was going to do was just keep casting the name of memory and be like, don't you all want to go inside where it's not filled with bullets and drink and
You're not
laugh?
like this.
Yeah, the only other thing I would have had would have been more gravity this time now with like bleeding from the nose. Like, so that would have been to literally keep them from going anywhere.
Okay, so who is going to be the one to make the die roll?
It's a democracy. I'll put myself up, but let me know if you want to more.
Let's put it this way. Jarth, I know you said you had a vested interest because, you were a little slighted. Your boys weren't listening to you. So I think it's a 50-50 between Sparrowhawk Poe's kind of Cronenberg Gandalf moment or your last ditch effort. And I think, ultimately, not to be a dick, I think that's on your shoulders. Like, it's your choice to choose who rolls.
Yeah, it's you. These are
because-
your boys.
Exactly. So who's
That's
going to do the
true.
roll? Is Jarth going to get the last roll, or is Sparrowhawk going to do their thing?
Let me
what's your
present
thought?
this. Let me present this to you because there'll need to be different costs at play here. If Jarth makes this roll, I'm going to give you a bonus of 2, which is going to mean that if you roll a 6, then there is no cost. If you fail or succeed at a cost, which is 2 through 5, you are going to temporarily gain the reputation Backstabber, as you attempted to call a truce and then shot them as they ran.
That's
Now,
spicy.
if Sparrowhawk Poe takes this, I will give you a bonus of 3, which puts that success at 5 to 6 with no cost, 2 to 4 with a cost. As they are going to plow through you, and you will take that wounded reputation as they escape. So, Sparrowhawk Poe has a wider range of success with no cost, but could still get hurt.
Let's compromise. I'll say Jarth will like whistle and like rooster, and then just spin.
But I mean this though, like, because it's on you entirely, and I
Yeah,
won't
I
be
think-
perfectly successful. I'll do creepy shit later.
No. Jarth's too far in his life to be someone who goes against his word. So
Okay.
we'll let Sparrowhawk do some wizard stuff.
Okay.
But we'll let Jarth contribute. He'll be like, get her,
As you're
boy!
looking down the barrel of the pistol, like the right in your sights, like, I can't do this. Get him!
Yeah.
Do you?
Okay, so how many dice is that?
It's just one. It's just 1d6.
Just one.
Do you accept this cost? And that means that if you roll a 2 to a 4, you're going to succeed. They're going to stop, but you are going to get wounded in the process. It will go away. It will heal. 5 or 6 means you stop 1. They are going to flee, and you will be wounded.
I fucking love this game. This is so fun. I accept the cost. Let's do this.
Roll the showdown.
Okay, one die. Give me luck, Gil. I'm not. It dropped on my computer. That doesn't count. Come on. 5. Roll the 5.
Sparrowhawk Poe,
Oh.
you materialize in front of everybody, slamming your staff down, and the rebels stop dead in their tracks.
It's very biblical angel-esque. It is a flurry of feathers and limbs, too many wings, too many eyes before it coalesces into a very frail little weird human girl. Puts her staff down.
Think before you flee into the arms of danger, comrades.
They look to one another. They look back to Jarth. One of them says, "You said something about a drink?"
You guys like beer?
And this is where we are going to close the Knight's Tale. As this new cadre will take these rebels and these tax collectors to the local inn where they will be housed for the evening in an attempt to strike up some level of bargain with them. It does not solve the issue at hand, which is Thronebreaker is still out there, but it removes some pawns off of this chess table. What pieces remain to be played will be seen next time. I'd like to thank all of my players for being here today. Thank you, Soul Method Publishing, for just an incredible book full of an incredible world. And thank you, the viewer, for joining us. We're going to go around. People are going to tell you who they are and where you can find them, what they're doing. We're going to reverse things from last time. Jerry, would you please go?
Hi, I'm Jerry. You can follow me on all socials at myjerryamour, AMOUR. If you're in the San Diego area, I do improv at Finest City Improv most weeks. So catch us there. And Yeah.
All right, over to PJ now.
Hello, everyone. My name is PJ McGaw, and you can find me all over the internet at PJ McGaw, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, the other ones, Blue Sky. When you find my face, that's the right place. I do a lot of stuff. I do a lot of TTRPG writing, and at the time of this awesome evening, I also have some great things coming out with the Noirville universe and some cool stuff with Critic Chronicles. So make sure to check them out as well on YouTube and Twitch. And hopefully I'll have some more awesome news next time we see each other again. I was going to say something that I forgot. So I'm just going to say thank you all, and I can't wait till next time.
Over to Abby.
Yeah, there. I'm Abby. I'm your local Dissent nerd. You can catch me at most places on the internet at Enough of Abby. Oh, you can check out the Dino Crisis series with Muir and Zach, where I kill people with dinosaurs, as well as on the Hype Goblin channel, where I run Changeling the Lost. And keep your eye out on The Heart is a Dungeon. The corner of West End and Pleasure is out. There is a gibbon in there, as well as some godly shenanigans. So keep an eye out there. And of course, check out the rest of these people because they're fucking amazing. Oh my god, they let me do some biblically angel shit. That's key. We love a good role-playing team.
Mare, it's your turn.
And hello there, my name is Mare. You can find me on Twitch and Blue Sky, Threads, IG at Oh Hello Mare. You can also find me as a part of numerous other actual plays on places including Winter's Tales with Castleton, the Old Ways podcast as a member of their Children's of the Periphery. You can find me on Crit Hit Chronicles with some cool stuff coming up soon. Maybe it's happened. Who knows? You're gonna find me all over the internet. If there's a game, I'm trying to play with it. So I am a Latin teacher who loves to roleplay. I teach theater and history and love using that in games, as well as bringing TTRPGs into the worlds of adolescents and women over the age of 30. So that is my goal and my mission, and it's really cool to come and play with everybody else here. Hey.
And I am your storyteller, your game master, your prophet, Zachary Vaudo. You can find me all over the internet at Sneakernet and Sneakernet Music, making music for TTRPG streams and other streams such as AEW Games. I am, as I like to say, wherever tabletop games are played. Thank you all again for joining us. Remember that your fate may be inevitable, but as long as there are still stories, they will sing of you. Have a good night.